Hello there, Virgo, and welcome to your October forecast. I hope everyone is doing spectacular, and I just like to remind everyone at the beginning of these forecasts that you can use them for your sun, your rising, and your moon. And if you don't know all three, just stick with your birth sign, and that should be enough. Now, I'd like to begin with a big thank you to everybody that's been supporting me, whether it's been a long time or just for a month or two. I'm really close to a milestone here on YouTube. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers, and I most certainly could not do that without you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. If you would like to also show support for all of the programming that you see here, another way you can do that besides liking, sharing, and subscribing is I offer a way to give back. And you can either join me on Patreon or you can donate through my website. This is, of course, optional, but it does go towards buying supplies and also just allowing me to carve out the calendar time to do all of these. So if you feel motivated, feel free to do it. I'll put some information here at the bottom and also below the video. Now let's get straight into your forecast, which I know is why you all came here. I like to get started each month with some channeled information. For me, the channeled information comes when I select a deck of cards and begin to meditate on your sign. As I was doing that for you, the message that I got was to have more self-confidence. And what the image that I saw was someone throwing up dice, basically. And it's almost like there's opportunity or the luck of the draw this month. And what I wrote down was, take a chance on yourself. You can go further than you think. I would take that a step further and say what you're really doing is breaking through any sort of artificial boundaries that others might have put on you and starting to realize your own self-worth. So even though it came to me as like taking a chance on yourself, really what the underlying message is here is believe in yourself, see your worth, and go forward with that. Don't be afraid. There's always a little bit of risk involved when you try new things or when you let people see who you truly are. But what I'm getting from a message from Spirit this month is that it's okay to show that part of yourself, particularly if it's a part that you're passionate about, or if you have this gift that you want to share, or if it's just time to explore a different aspect of your personality. So anyway, please embrace that. Keep me posted on how that works for you. But I think that it's an exciting month in store if you believe in your own worth and your own value and put that out into the universe. Now, the second part of the reading is going to be a Celtic cross, and then I'll expand it in the third portion to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. I'm going to shuffle the cards, and I'll be pretty quiet at this point because just like you, I want to look at the positions, look at the cards, and see what additional information comes through. So let's turn the camera down, and I'll be right back after I lay out all of the cards here. In addition to all the cards here in the Celtic cross, I also like to incorporate what I call a catalyst. And the catalyst is a way for us to see connections between the messages here and also helps us see maybe the highest possible outcome and how to achieve that and maybe how to neutralize any negative energies that might be coming through in the month. So let's take a look and see what that message is. The card you received was Hermes the Messenger. Hermes is also known as Mercury, of course. And when we look at Mercury upright, it's all about positive communication, timely communication, ease and success with that as well. The reversal of this is showing that you want to be cautious, both in the sending and the receiving of any sort of written or spoken communication. So just take your time this month. Make sure that there are no crossed wires. Check assumptions. Make sure that what you heard is actually what was intended to be received. And I think you'll be in a good place. The other thing that this is showing, there's not really anything negative per se about this, but it could just show that there are unexpected delays or a few sort of trips when it comes to communication, contracts, and things like that. So be mindful of that. I think you'll be in a good place. And let's go card by card, and as necessary or appropriate, I will draw a connection back to that card. But we'll start here at the center, and you have the Seven of Swords. And for me, the Seven of Swords can indicate a few things, but namely it's about trust and perhaps a lack of transparency. And what you want to be careful of this month is anybody that is in your circle of acquaintances that may not be completely forthcoming. If you have to either check up frequently on them to see if they understand or if they're following through, or if in your heart you think, I don't trust them with maybe this responsibility or with the money or with the final say on something, this probably isn't the best person to be engaging with when it comes to business, when it comes to friendship, or especially anything that has to do with money this month. It typically shows ulterior motives. So just be mindful of that. And it's not that you have to worry about someone that's already in your life and something going on. I think this is a choice that you make going into the month on who you surround yourself with. Just make sure that it's good company. And if there are people that are already in your circle of friends that kind of fall into that category where you're not sure, try to distance yourself this month from them. And just as a general rule, if none of that's really, if you feel like you can trust everyone in your life, this has to do with two other things. One can be simply being as transparent and communicative as possible, which is a direct correlation to that reversed Mercury card that I saw. And the other piece of this is to really cut losses when appropriate. So if there's something that you've been heavily investing time and energy in, but you're not seeing a return on it, this is a month where you either want to put that on to the back burner and sort of reorganize your time around something else, or simply just let it go. A lot of times we'll hold on to an old pattern, sometimes a job, sometimes something in our life that we're doing that really isn't helping us, just because it's comfortable or just because it's part of our routine. And this card is challenging you to break routines this month. Once you embrace this, then it looks like things are going to work out for you. We've got the Three of Wands on top of this. I see both a period of time, the next quarter of the year, the next 3 months leading all the way into January or February of next year, and also just a general note that whatever it is that you're starting to try to put your aspirations and goals and energy into, it does look like it's fruitful as an endeavor. There's also a loyalty element to this card, as you see that domestic dog there sitting here. So I do believe that once you have your loyalties in order, you understand who you can trust, that's when things start to really fall into place. And trust is at the center of everything. If it doesn't exist, then it's really difficult for you to be productive, to have things fall into place. So once that's in order, everything else is looking good. When I look into your deep past, it looks like a lot of you have done the necessary work to prepare. This Eight of Pentacles card is usually one that shows knowledge expansion, preparation, sometimes getting certification, all these things that show that if you needed to do the necessary research, it feels like it's been done. But this month, what you really have to do is make sure that you're not missing any of the fine details. Because for me, this is a very granular card when it comes to things like moving a decimal point or using a word and having it be, misconstrued because you either spelled it wrong or the meaning could be misunderstood. So there's choices that you can make in the small, tiny details. And I do feel like there's a component of it where it's written, whether it's numbers, text, or a signature that somehow is connecting you to something that you need to deliver. All of these things are going to be important this month. So pay attention to all of that, and that's going to help protect you really in the long run. Looking at factors from the recent past that are contributing how you might feel right at the beginning of the month, we have the Five of Pentacles here. And the interesting thing with the Five of Pentacles is sometimes there's a feeling of not being appreciated or being on the outside looking in. And I think that as we look at the center card here, the Seven of Pentacles, these two are very much telling two different sides of the same story. So I feel like some people in your life could just be feeling left out, not appreciated. This could be a sibling relationship or a parental relationship. It doesn't just have to be something that's in a work or sort of practical application. So look at people in your life and just make sure that if you care about them, or if they've been withdrawn and you're not sure what's going on, that you just do your best to reach out and let them know that you care and that you love them, or that they're important to you, even if you don't always have the time to articulate that. It could mean a lot, and it could also ease some of those issues where someone may not feel like they need to walk away. If it is a position of you being a boss or something, this is a way you could actually save someone on your team, because they may just be feeling like they don't have anything to offer, and that's not the case. You've just been busy and not been able to sort of figure out how to make things work. If it's a family situation, maybe you're a grandmother or grandfather and you just haven't had time to reach out to everyone, or someone's feeling left out. This is a way to, again, not show favoritism, just say, hey, I've been thinking about you and I just wanted to see what's going on. So proactively checking in, making sure things are okay. I think that whenever the Five of Pentacles comes, we should still mention that when it comes to areas of money, you want to be conservative this month. I do see here in the ego card, here we have a Knight of Wands in reverse, showing that money is probably going out, or it's in a negative position, or you're going to need more than you anticipate. So I think it's really important, at least for the beginning of the month, because then I see things turning around, to be conservative. Really focus on saving more and making sure that if you haven't done a budget in a while, you understand the input versus what you're putting out. And that's going to be essential just for your own sustainability, really. And I think that's all we need to kind of talk about with that card. Looking at your crowning card, we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is in a reverse state. And so the thing to remember with this is you can either take this month and focus on things that need to improve, the spilled cups in this case, or things that are something that you want to invest in, the upright cups. So it's a difference between the critical approach, looking at opportunities, and the positive, which is everything to celebrate. Of course, there are times when both make sense. You don't want to just have blinders on and not deal with things that, have upset you or need to be remedied. But I think that the main message of Five of Cups is to try to find some part of what you're going through as a positive, even if you have to address uncomfortable situations. For some of you, it might be calling out people in your life that are not behaving in a proper way, because we have that Seven of Swords right at the center. So if that's the case, you acknowledge the behavior, and then you say, but I know you can do better, and I want us to work on this together. It could be a love relationship where someone is just letting you down, or vice versa. Maybe you've let someone down. So this is a chance for repair and recovery, and the emphasis is on the possibility, not on the failure or not on the lack of progress. In fact, as we look at really the opportunity of this month, it's all about forward momentum and progress. And interesting that although there were some pauses in communication that we're seeing here with Hermes or Mercury reversed, ultimately you're going to be able to turn things around and make it work to your advantage. Here we have the Ace of Swords, it's upright. And for me, this is showing that ability to really make a splash, make a difference, and also get across to people that may at first sort of be closed down, and then all of a sudden you have a breakthrough. This one almost reminds me of Excalibur because the sword is down. So it's something where you're going to have to, I've been saying this across different signs, but you'll have to take initiative. Excalibur was waiting for Arthur, right, to find it, and it took the right person to get through and also pull it out of the sword. So for you, or pull it out of the stone rather, for you, there's going to be something in your life where you're the right match, or you might be finding someone else that is the right match, and when that happens, it's sort of like magic. So I want you to be open to that magical opportunity this month. Now let's get to the exciting part, and I think this gets back to the channeled message, which was it's okay to take a chance, it's okay to take a risk. The risk or the opportunity comes in the environment. We have the Fool card here in reverse, and this Fool card really reminds me almost of the Wheel of Fortune. So I think there's an element of change, shift, or opportunity that's coming into play with your job or with your relationship to money. For some of you, this could mean moving location, maybe selling a house if you're retired and deciding to liquidate an asset. For those of you that are working, there might be a job opportunity that requires frequent travel or a move. It looks good, but what I see here is that there is a trade-off. In the ego, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and then in the opportunities area, we have the Queen of Pentacles upright. So something that is near and dear to you, you do give that up, but you get much more than you give up. And so as anything, in life, there's always something. It's give and take. It does look like what you're receiving is much better, but what you're giving up could be security, comfort, sort of a group of friends that you really love. So take a look at it and make sure that you are happy with that trade-off. I think that if you're willing to take the risk, it looks like it pans out for you. If you're not really worried about money, if you don't feel like a move is happening, let's look at this from another perspective. What I was talking about earlier again was conservative approach towards money. I think that's solid no matter what this month. The other thing that I'm seeing for many of you is a need to sort of get out of your routine a bit. The Fool card usually for me shows walking, movement, motion, and also kind of breaking through any routines or barriers that you have in your life. So this card is challenging you to get out of your comfort zone and to find new activities, new groups of friends, new alliances, and new ways to occupy your time. That's going to require you to move outside of your existing patterns. For some of you this month, you may be drawn to decide to kind of like document things. For some of us, we're more visual. That could be photography or videography. Some of us, it might be more about taking a pen to paper and recording things. I think that what I get with this, it's a value-oriented card. So if there's something in your life that you really care about, I want you to take time to preserve it, to protect it, to invest in it this month. And again, so that might be putting something together that's sort of a memento and something for you or for future generations, or something that you leave behind after you leave this earth. And that's something that all souls have to face at some point, whether you're 15 or 55 or at the end of your life. You think, okay, what is my impact on this planet when I leave? Some of you might be dealing with that a little bit this month. I want you to be free to kind of go after something big. And this is where the channeled information comes in again, which is don't be afraid to try something brand new. And that might mean that you decide to shift your career completely. And the Fool is right under that Queen of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is a new way to make money or a new way to spend your energy. The cool thing about this is I do feel like you'll have a lot of support. We have the Three of Cups on this. So there's a celebration for many of you towards the end of the month, or there may be some good news, or there may just be a desire for you to get out a little bit more with your friends, with your family. And because of the way this is positioned, I'm not getting really anything negative with the Three of Cups. In fact, for some of you, it's an announcement. It could be an announcement of a birth or a project being released. But this to me seems like it's celebratory. I will say with the Three of Cups, the only thing that you want to be careful of is not overdoing things. Usually the Nine of Cups would have that as a much more potent point, but there is sometimes a lack of control that happens with the Three of Cups. So in social activities, just remember that what you do and what you say can get back to people, and so you want to be on your best behavior. You want to moderate things a little bit, but hey, if it's a celebration, do have fun, do relax, and do celebrate with other people. Everything, again, in moderation, and you should be fine. Let's go ahead now and expand the forecast. Every month I look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll start with the health card. Health includes mind, body, and spirit. Let's give the cards a shuffle and see what the message is for you in respect to your health this month. So for health, we have gratitude. I talk about this a lot, and it's not just merely saying thanks. It can be just a moment of recognizing what's working in your life, how far you've come to get where you're at. And even if there are things going on where you feel like it's taking so long, or why am I still not achieving everything that I want? The gratitude card is reminding you to just take baby steps and think, well, you know what? For some of you, you're in good health, so you want to give thanks for that. Maybe some of you have just gotten over some sort of an issue and you're recovering, but the recovery is going well, so you're grateful for the ability to heal. And if you can't find anything, you can go to basic things, because there are many people every day that can't just like get up in the morning. They aren't able to speak. They aren't able to breathe. Whatever it is, whatever your gifts are, give gratitude for them. And even if you have something that you feel like it's pulling you back, maybe you're finding a way to work through that and surprise people, and it's that perseverance that you're grateful for. One last thing that I want to unpackage with that is the whole reason that this is important is it opens your heart. And one of my earliest experiences with an archangel, and I think I put this in my intuitive development series, but it was the message from Archangel Uriel to simply say thank you. What I realized is that if you truly feel the thanks, your heart opens up. And if you're working in the area of healing yourself or receiving healing and information, in this case from an archangel, when my heart is open and when its heart is open, we can connect on a deeper level. Because if I truly mean thank you, then that gratitude is love, and love is the basically the currency of the universe. So if I send love towards something and then I'm feeling love, all of a sudden I'm open and it's open and we can communicate deeper. And that's the true magic of this. And I don't know why it took me the whole time to get to that, but I think that's why gratitude matters for you. And I forget that sometimes, and then Uriel comes back in my head and it's like, remember, I said to say thank you. And that's what it was about. Uriel wasn't scolding me, it was teaching me a lesson that when the heart is open, we can receive so much more and we can give so much more. So why not open the channel, widen it? And you have to do so in a way that is authentic, and that's the key. You can't just say thanks. You have to say thank you, and you have to really mean the thank you. So find something that you can truly attach to with gratitude, and you'll start to see some amazing results in your health, and I would say across, in your health, your wealth, your love, and your overall life. So there's a reason that this came first in the expanded forecast. All right, let's go ahead now and take a look at wealth, knowing that wealth has to do not just with the opportunities in front of you, but also your own self-confidence and your openness to those opportunities. The wealth message this month is adjacent possibilities. And the interesting thing with this card, it was reversed, but it doesn't matter because of the way that it is basically illustrated here, is to think outside of the box here. As you can see, sometimes what you're looking for, it may not be right in front of you. You might have to do some digging, or you might have to look at it from a different perspective. And so with respect to a career opportunity, it could come in an unexpected place. Maybe it's a social gathering with your family and you meet a friend of a friend or a friend of a family member that opens up some sort of an opportunity. You could simply be at the grocery store and run into someone that you used to work for and they know about something. Or when you're looking at a way to invest your money, you may decide to go in a completely different direction than you normally do in respect to your portfolio. So I just want you to be open-minded and to be looking in places that you normally wouldn't be for your finances, for job opportunities, maybe even if you're trying to hire or to find a job. There's all of these adjacent opportunities that are opening up, so be open to those. Let's look now at love in your life, knowing that love isn't just about romantic relationships, but how you are relating and expressing yourself in friendships, family relationships, and again, romance. So I said it earlier, but I believe that love is the currency of the universe. It's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing we take with us. And so let's see what that message is this month. So a reversal on this, but it says, ascending to the mountain, keep going forward. What I see with this is, I think it ties back to that gratitude card and also my channeled information, which is there's going to be a few challenges that you have to work through this month. They're worth it though. And what's important for you is not to kind of get stuck in the middle of a situation. So if somebody has done something where you feel like you can't trust them, that doesn't mean you can't trust everyone, and it doesn't mean that they were doing that to purposely hurt you. This was something that you needed to experience, and probably they did too, to move to the next state. So this month, it's about ascension, and when I'm talking about a state, I'm talking about sort of an energetic state. So this isn't necessarily the time when you're going to find love. I think what you're going to do is work through existing relationships and learn about yourself and get to a place where whatever you're calling in with respect to love in the future, whether it's how you relate to family and friends, or again, if there's a new love or an existing love, how you're going to improve that, you have to first learn and take some time to decompress and basically learn from the lessons that you've already been through. This is going to help you get to a higher state and to be able to not repeat things. The other thing is there may be a repetition from the universe of an old lesson that comes through. This month you go higher. That's what this is showing. You ascend. You don't go to the same level as someone that might be either on trying to attack you or trying to push your buttons. When that happens, you take a pause. You think about it, you remember from the past what worked and what didn't, and you change your direction this time. And then watch and learn how they changed as well, because they might have been expecting a certain reaction from you. And when you're in a neutral space, or when you're going higher and you're kinder, it tempers and it changes, and it helps both of you ascend. All right, let's look at your last card here, which is Destiny. And this is your overall trajectory for your soul, for your life, for the month. It's something that you can continue to course correct as needed. There's a lot of personal choice that's involved with this card. So let's just see what that message is right now. I see it as a GPS. I mentioned that a lot. So we have healing here at Green Tara. It says, supreme protection. You are protected, cords are being cut, move beyond limitations, and I'm going to pull this up close because it's hard to read all of this, but the very last word right there is trust, which was something we were talking about earlier. I like the message about cord cutting, and I think for some of you there's going to be a need or a benefit to look at people that are no longer someone that you want to associate with, or that might be clinging on to a previous version of you, not letting you move forward. This is the month to cut that cord. Ultimately, it's about protecting yourself, both on a practical level, like your money, the reputation, situations around you, but more importantly, the spiritual level, which is saying this person, this activity, this situation may be toxic or may not be helping me, so I'm ready to cleanse and let it go. Let's go ahead and bring everything into focus, and then we'll wrap up. At the beginning, I mentioned that idea of throwing something up in the air, like a coin or some dice, and it was saying, take a chance on yourself. You can go further than you think. I think a lot of you might have a chance to move or to take on a challenging opportunity, and if you trust yourself and if it feels like it's something that will be worthwhile to you, more importantly, like fulfilling, then go for it. And don't let other people's limiting thoughts hold you back. And I think that's what this last card was saying, like cut cords with people if they are of that mind. Watch communications this month, particularly watch the small details to make sure that you're not missing something, or again, something wasn't communicated in one way but intended to be delivered or received in another. As we look at each card one by one here again, the middle card was all about trust and about transparency and possibly correcting bad behaviors in yourself or in others. Don't be afraid to be direct. In fact, it's right by the Ace of Swords upright. If you do this, positive things will come through. We've got the Three of Wands. Also, the next quarter year looks pretty good. This is pointing to a shift in your money as well. So keep with it, keep working hard. Looking at the past, a lot of you just acknowledging that you've done hard work. Again, also underlining how important it is to pay attention to details this month. No need for major investments. You really want to save more than you spend. Don't take a loss on things either. Don't move forward unless it's something that's actually going to bring you into a place where you're protected when it comes to your sustainability and finances. Acknowledge what needs to be worked on, but don't focus solely on the negative. Also focus on what's positive and what's possible. Your communication is something that you are going to be able to master by the middle to the end of the month. So don't let any initial delays here that we saw with Mercury reversed take you off your track. I do like, it does look like for some of you there's some sort of an initial outgoing cost that then is recovered. Again, for some of you this could involve a move, so you may have some sort of moving expenses, but whatever you're receiving should outweigh that, and if not, let that be the deciding factor. A general note also for you to get out of old habits this month, try new things, and it looks like you're going to end the month on a celebration. You could possibly meet someone new. The Three of Cups is generally a very positive card. The only message here was to try to be moderate in your activities, not to go overboard. I think if you do that, you can have a lot of fun and well-deserved fun with that card. As we expand the forecasts again, I talked at great length about the benefits of gratitude. It quite literally helps your heart on a physical level, but more importantly on a spiritual level. And it opens you up to a larger channel of energy, something I mentioned at the end, but I think is the biggest takeaway when you think of gratitude. With respect to your wealth card here, think of unusual ways that you may either open up a door or an opportunity when it comes to money, getting a job, your working relationships. There's something that comes through that's unexpected. When we look at love, remember that this month you want to be in a higher energetic position than other people. And so if they're trying to come through and push your buttons, show them through your own actions what it's like to be in a place where that doesn't work. And it basically is a way of taking your power back. And finally, it's important for you to let go. Let go of whatever we were seeing in the Seven of Swords. Cut cords and find people in your life that you can trust, and more importantly, trust yourself. Because as I said, you can go places and go further than you think you can if you trust yourself. And try not to let other people impede on that self-trust. So that brings your monthly reading to a close. I hope it gave you the the guidance, the information, and also the confidence to go through the month without hesitation or worry. If there's anything that you ever want to talk about in your life where you've got a curveball or something that's unexpected, feel free to reach out to me. The first link below the video will show my rates and availability, so go ahead and click on that if you'd like to talk to me, and if it makes sense, I'm here for you. If you just want to say thank you, at the beginning of the video I mentioned a simple way to show support is to like, subscribe, and to of course share this video. If you'd like to go a little further and help me buy supplies or just make sure that I have more than a couple of days per month to spend on the videos, then feel free to donate. As little as $1 helps in all of those practical matters, and it directly goes back into making videos like this. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, that would be great. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I have a newsletter as well. That third link will help you find a way to connect to all of those platforms. Finally, I like to end every video with just a little bit of an overarching reason for why we're here, but I also like to just say thank you and acknowledge all the work that you're doing. So I really do appreciate that you have a lot of choices here on YouTube and you've spent some time with me. So keep working on yourself. And the reason that I show up every month, and I think the reason that a lot of you are here, is for clarity. And I've been using this as a visual guide this month, but if you look at all the facets of this, I think this is what we're trying to do, is to clear ourselves out, clean ourselves out, and to understand all the facets of our personality. So I want you to keep doing that for yourself this month, and understand that even for something that is this clear, there's still some flaws, there's still some imperfections, but overall there's a clarity to this, and that's really why we're showing up each month. I want you to find that clarity within and share that with others in your life. Whether that's clarity of what you want to do or helping them even find their own light. Keep working on yourself and share that luminosity and that beauty with others, and all of this is going to be time well spent, okay? Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Thank you.